Work for me, technology. Work for me. Bam. Oh. Okay, I will not move again. So I can move? Do we want to try? Obviously. Yeah. 8 of my photos on Facebook all at the same time. Okay. Promotion and definitely booking something that
Welcome to the Virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. Please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti.
Hey everybody, it's 5:04, but that's okay because it's been a big week. It was election week. You guys all know that. But hey, doesn't 2020 look a lot better all of a sudden? I think so. I think it's a lot better. Let's get going with the show. By the way, it's Sunday. It's November 8th. If you had anything to do on Tuesday, like vote, you voted, and we won. Okay. When the first cheers rang out and the bell tolled on the 45th presidency, Trump was, he was golfing. That's not a joke. He's a joke. What? I had jokes about the Bachelorette on deck because, apparently it's a big week. Everything was, clarified and they were using a lot of puns with the names. I don't do puns. But local Sacramento hairstylist Claire Crowley was the Bachelor, and she broke it and said all these jokes on deck. But then, whoop, Saturday was a big day. Tony LaBranch, 18, will be sworn in as a state representative in New Hampshire. 18 years old, this man is. He's hired most of his staff already, and it's been reported with a chuckle by all the news outlets and a smile that he's hired most of his high school friends to be on his staff. Yeah, news people. He's 18. All he has is high school friends. Leave him alone. I'm sure he's going to do fine. In fact, the first order of business in New Hampshire in the state legislature from LaBranch, his desk, is to open campus lunch for all of New Hampshire. The second order is steal Vermont's mascot. JK. I'm impressed with Tony LaBranch. You're an awesome kid for winning an election at 18. Make everyone proud. An Idaho man was recently banned from Yellowstone National Park and will face 2 years probation for cooking chicken in the hot springs of the national park. He got caught because he only used salt to season his chicken. The Yellowstone ranger admitted that if he had been using some paprika, he would have just showed him which hot spring was better to cook in. and sat down and eaten it with them. I hope Clifton heard that joke. Panasonic made a vacuum gadget to rescue wireless earbuds from train tracks, because all the world's problems, and that's what we're doing with technology. Trump supporters are mad, and they're claiming that the election has been rigged. So instead of patiently sitting and waiting, which they didn't do, crowds of his supporters crowded around voting centers with angry, not only signs, but guns, because that's what everyone patiently counting wants, to have a gun pointed at them. I know when I'm counting something patiently and it's high stress, I want a gun pointed at me. Even some politicians. Lindsey Graham backed Trump's crazy-ass claims of voter fraud, misconduct, and error. Because I guess when Republicans just can't accept that when you gerrymander for years, sabotage voter registration, sabotage voting booths, dismantle the Postal Service in an effort to sabotage the mail-in vote, intimidate voters, spread misinformation, make baseless claims of fraud and misconduct, robocall Democratic voters to try to keep them from the polls, show up outside polling places with guns and neckbeards to scare away voters, I guess they just can't accept that all of that wasn't enough to keep a record number of Americans from repudiating their regretful scum of a president. I mean, Trump. How are we going to say this, by the way? Are we? I should ask Clifton and Dave. Is it by Trump Leisha? Does that work for everyone? It's kind of fitting for 2020. Kamala Harris, say it with me correctly, like a comma, la. Kamala Harris not only becomes the first woman vice president, the first black vice president, the first Asian American vice president, but also maybe the most badass vice president ever already as an elect. Fox News and conservative pundits have joked, what will the first woman Veep do first? Clean or cook? Well, I got your answers, dummy. She's going to start cooking and she's going to clean house. What? All seriousness, congrats to Vice President-elect Harris. Fuck that glass ceiling up. The United States will have its first vice presidential second gentleman in Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff. Not only that, but he's the first Jewish spouse of a president or vice president. So all those tiki torch carrying white supremacists chanting, Jews will not replace us, back in Charlottesville in 2016, remember, with tiki torches? Weird tiki torches. Good call on not including Mother Pence, because she's been replaced by a Jew. Biden's victory ultimately was sealed when my home state, the Keystone State, Pennsylvania turned as blue as Mike Pence's balls. Political pundits are giving credit for Biden taking Pennsylvania to his 14 campaign stops in the state and his hard push in the final week with multiple stops and rallies in the state. I'm giving this win to Lady Gaga. Yep, Lady Gaga. She was there, and oh look, in my hometown, stumping for Biden. So thanks, Gaga. You're always there when we need you. Where are we? When Pennsylvania clinched the 270 electoral votes needed, political pundits were pointing out that Joe Biden built a blue wall in the Midwest, with Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin joining the ever sapphire Illinois. Ha 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 ha. Somebody built a wall at the end of 4 years, and it was blue, and it kept Trump out. Isn't that ironic? Biden changed his Twitter handle. It now says president-elect. So now it's like Twitter official and all. So he's going steady with the presidency. And appropriately, finally, people are surprised that we still don't know Nevada's vote count. Guys, a lot of those uncounted votes are from Las Vegas. And they've been telling us for years. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Why is anybody surprised? Okay. Before we get to my first contributor, I want to mention that, once again, all the information for everybody is below them, unless it's the stab information that you're looking for, and then right above my beautiful head. And you can send coin to Stab. And check it out. Stab TV hoodies. How much are they?
Well, they're still pre-order price here, just a base 20 with the additional option of donating up to up to 50 total. So yeah, still on the website, stabcomedytheater.com/merch, and grab a hoodie.
They're really soft and really cool, and they have the Stab TV logo, and that's the only way that we can do the Suzette Veneti show. So if you want to support Stab and get a hoodie, I say do it. Why not? It's been a big week. You deserve it. Okay, And with that, we're going to get to my first contributor. I love him. He's a great follow. He's a great comedian. He's a great friend, and the show wouldn't be the same if he didn't bring it. Every time I say he does every show, he's like, I don't do every show. Yeah, he's missed like 2. So, Bees and Booze, give it up for Mean Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Testicles. Are we here?
We are.
All right. Cool. Good to see you.
You
good
too.
to be here. Sorry I was gone last week, but it's good to be here this week. It's been a pretty uneventful week, unless you've been alive. Then it's been a pretty tense week, because obviously we've had the election, the counting of the votes, and all. And I'll say this: if there's anybody that I'm really kind of sad for, it's all the people who've been playing the live or the multi-massive online game called QAnon. For all those players out there who have been following the QAnon conspiracy game and have been really keeping their fingers crossed for this gigantic conspiracy to be thwarted by said leader, I think you're probably going to find out in the next few weeks that it was kind of one of the largest pranks ever pulled by people that you don't know, hence the anonymous. No, it's been interesting because there's been everybody was predicting civil war, which made me laugh because that civil war was primarily just online. The Civil War occurs on social media. That's where all these things are. And you had people marching with guns and all that, but I want to point out that's a small portion of the population. And in case you didn't look at a lot of the people who are holding all of those guns and stuff, they're not in the best of shape. And so and not only that, the vast majority of the country is made up of people who don't go marching in the streets and yelling their voices. The vast majority of the country is made up of people who do their jobs, worry about their families and take care of them or whatnot, or just live their lives quietly. That's why they're called the silent majority. And they voted, and those votes mostly turned out for the dude that wasn't really advocating everybody just talk out your ass and say all your racist to whatever phobic thoughts and everything else, and just empowering morons to speak up. And there's smart people too that also like that guy. I like a lot of wrestling myself. We've talked about it on the show before. Politics are way more like wrestling these days. And people have had 4 years of a heel who is popular with unpopular Americans. The fact is there's a lot of people out there who are very vocal about their love for the current soon-to-be ex-president, and they tend to kind of be assholes, and there were people who weren't assholes who were also pro current president, but as you've seen in this past year, not only with the chaos of the coronavirus and then just everything every other week, this dude spent more time on Twitter than he did in the White House, and just you see a guy who just basically leaves America very tense, very unsettled. Normally when somebody, it's like, do you like having a bus driver who drives on the wrong side of the street half the time and the right side of the street just to keep things interesting? No, I like to get to the fucking destination. I like a nice boring bus ride. So I want a nice boring bus driver next, because we've had 4 years of this last thing. And so anyway, and I think, and here's the thing too. If this dude really would care, I really don't believe that he ever wanted to be president. I think he did it because he basically went into the primary to try and prove he could do it, to shut up people who said he couldn't, and he did. And then he ran against Hillary because he could, and he did all this to prove that he could do it. And then once he did it, he realized, I don't really want to do this, but fuck it, I'll just keep wrecking shop. And that's why people even liked him, was because he was this bull in a china shop. But all right, how much longer, when I was like 4 years ago, I was joking that, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to pray for the end of the world. And now that Trump's elected, I know that there's a God and he's been listening to my prayers. And then what I like to say now is he didn't get the job done in 4 years of ending the world. So why am I going to reelect a guy that should have ended the world in 4 years? But the fact being, I didn't even vote for him. I don't know if I voted in 2016. I usually give my ballots to my mom. She fills them out and I sign them. But now she lives 3 hours away in Ukiah. So now this is the first year I filled out my own ballot. And I went over to my buddy Mike Bucci's house. He's the city councilman here in Newark, California. A good friend of mine, also a comedian, funny dude. And I basically I actually read the ballot. And this was the first year that I've read a ballot. And most to all the measures I read that I vote, the only people I didn't know locally who to vote for based on whatever. So I just had him dictate who I should vote for. But when it came to the measures, when I read them, this is the first year that I ever read these measures, and pretty much the way I would have voted based on how they read, my conscience and all that, that's how I would have voted. So it was pretty cool. I almost felt like an adult. I almost felt like I was doing my civic duty. And so I filled it out and got a ride to go drop it off and all that bullshit. And but really, here's the thing too. Even if Trump won, I wouldn't be flipping out either. I understand people who flip out over the shit. I understand. I know the concern. We've had bad presidents before that I was more freaked out about. When I remember when W. Bush got elected. Not my favorite president because the man was pretty stupid sounding. And he too also didn't seem that concerned with being president. He had a vice president who was very devious and crafty. We also had, I love how people would always put 9/11, put that on, wear that on their sleeve as some like sign that he was a good president. I'm like, wait a minute, that meant his first year in office, that the world's largest terrorist attack on American soil happened on his watch. How do we reward somebody who let that happen? When Jimmy Carter was president, he dealt with the whole Iran hostage crisis that occurred during his presidency, and they didn't reelect him based on that shit. Whereas we had this huge attack that we were told about and given this whole backstory, and then we went and invaded countries that didn't have people that were, the hijackers weren't from the countries that we invaded. So there was clearly this other agenda, and yet that dude still got reelected. I've never invested personally. I've never lived vicariously through who our president is, and I don't think it's a healthy thing to do. So when people have been on, we've been adapted to social media in the last 10 years, and we've been living with it on our phones. And primarily, one of my favorite episodes of The Twilight Zone. I love the show The Twilight Zone. Rod Serling is a brilliant genius, one of the best writers of all time, up there with Shakespeare. And he wrote an episode called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. And it is a great episode to go back and watch because in the episode, you have a nice suburban family or a nice suburban neighborhood. And all of us, out of nowhere, the lights start flickering on and off, like in the neighborhood. And people are kind of like wondering, what's going on? Yeah, lights are flickering. Kind of weird. And it happens at weird times. And then a few other weird things start happening in the neighborhood, just random weird shit. It doesn't seem dangerous, but it's just making people a little unnerved, a little paranoid. And then they start getting paranoid of each other, and they start turning on each other. And next thing you know, they start accusing each other of like all kinds of strange shit. Somebody's like, I know what you did, and they're all after each other. Then a gun gets introduced to the situation, and one of them shoots the other one, and so it ends in this assault. Dare I say a murder? And then the scene pulls out, and it turns out there were aliens watching the whole time. Basically, they were just flickering the lights, and they said, "See, that's all you got to do: flicker a few lights and a few little weird things, and they all turn on each other." And so all I look at the phones and all the social media are just the flickering lights. They're just the flickering lights to get people turning on each other through all this shit. And vast majority of people aren't on their phones all the time, And so that's why when everybody was all crying Civil War and all this bullshit, I'm like, is this going to be all the people? You know, it's a small amount of people that actually would want to participate. The vast majority of the people are like, shut up, and we'll just, we'll figure, I don't know. And not only that, I'm talking out my ass. What do I know? I've been in my bedroom all fucking week. So I went to a couple meetings. I got to hear some QAnon morons at my recovery meeting beforehand, talking about this whole QAnon bullshit, and that's the stuff that just makes me laugh, because it's like these are people that believe anonymous posts on Reddit or whatever, and take it as fact, and just don't trust this, don't trust that. It's good to be skeptical, but it's not good to be a complete fucking moron. There is a dividing line between the two. So that's all. And beyond that, I'm grateful to see. I think already people feel a sense of relief. Here's the other thing too. I hate to give anybody credit on this, but haven't seen too many of the Trump supporters being that shitty about, they're all going to say the same shit of, the election was, this is rigged and better. It's like, yeah, there was a conspiracy by a majority of people to vote for the dude that's not your guy. That was the conspiracy. And so basically it's like, it was funny because I was pointing out to these people in recovery. I go to various recovery meetings. I don't want to name them, but you can figure them out. And we contribute money when we go. There's like a, kind of like, the way church works or whatever. It's called the seventh tradition. The basket goes around. We put money in there, and that money goes to keep our meetings going. It goes to the higher offices or whatever, like the higher level of the organization, all that. That money goes, and we don't question it. All right. And sometimes shit happens with that seventh tradition. There's sometimes, because we're dealing with addicts and alcoholics. All right. These are, people working through character defects and all that. And we understand that we are flawed people, and that shit sometimes either gets stolen or misappropriated, or maybe they make bad decisions with it. But once that money goes in that basket, we don't question it. It's more of a practice of giving, of like showing having a sense of gratitude for the recovery that we've been blessed with, and because most of us will have jobs, we'll be doing better in our lives, and we give back. That's how it works, and we don't question that shit. And yet, these very same people I watch put money in a basket every fucking week have no sense of this faith when it comes to the way we operate our voting every 4 years. And the fact is, yeah, I'm sure there's some shit that gets fucked up. It's a human nature, all right? Maybe there's definitely been, years where I'm sure there's been some voter fraud and yada. Point is, you have evidence? Did anybody get caught? Who knows? My uncle is one of these dudes who keeps sharing any little article that like gives him any little bit of trying to give him any little bit of leverage to argue about this shit. He was saying about how some postal worker ran into Canada and stole votes. He had 3 ballots. Motherfucker had 3 ballots and went into Canada and got caught. And he was going to Canada because something to do with his mom. Or I just read the article and I'm like, really, you're gonna fucking post this shit over 3 fucking ballots? I don't think that's gonna turn the tide. So it's just the usual horse shit. And I think though people are kind of feeling a sense of calm on, overall. I think whatever's going to happen, same thing's going to happen that happened these last 4 years. Somebody's going to be president, and people are still going to bitch. That's pretty much it. So that's it for me, Suzette.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. Everyone send some coin to Mean Dave. He is amazing. I have a question really quick before you go. Have you did a show at the Alameda Comedy Club?
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, it's nice. Patrick Ford, really cool dude. He's the owner of it, owner and operator. He's like I guess a comedy veteran of like producing and stuff. He's been around for a while. And I think that his club stands a really good chance of benefiting from the lack of other clubs being open. I know Tommy T's is open in the East Bay and stuff, but Alameda being central between San Francisco and the East Bay and all of that, he stands to benefit from a lot of the talent that kind of, I want to say, gets a little segregated in the clubs. Because you got a lot of urban comedy at Tommy T's, you got a lot of the city comedy and the more Eurocentric shit in the city. You got kind of a different, like the niche alt comedy nerds and shit in Oakland and Berkeley and all that shit. And then you got like various surrounding areas, and he's right central in the middle. And I'm already looking at his booking, and he's got a variety of people, a variety of comics where we're gonna. I think he stands to benefit from a lot of being in the center of the Bay Area and being open to a lot of the talent in the area. So it'll be interesting. I love doing the club when I did it, or we were doing outdoor shows in his outdoor area, but the club inside looks great too. So it's when they're able to do shows inside, it's gonna be great.
What was the crowd like?
They were people.
Well, yeah, but were they? They were excited to be at a live event, I'm imagining.
I mean, what any crowds are like. I mean, I could go into specifics of the crowd. They were nice people. They were a pain in the ass during my set, but I didn't bomb. I kept having to make fun of them for being a little uptight, but that's me. Maybe it was me. Maybe I'm not that good a comedian. I don't know.
I disagree.
A lot of questions.
I disagree.
There's more questions than answers in these things. So, but they were there. That's all that matters. If you have an audience that's there, who gives a fuck?
Right on.
It's up to the comedian to then find a way to make them laugh or die trying with grace, I guess. So, yeah.
Cool. I was wondering about that. Well,
Yeah.
hey, Dave, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
As
Good
always.
seeing you guys.
You too.
Ladies, have a good one.
You too. Everybody, send me and Dave some coin. He's here every week, except for like 2, he would say. So, why not? Because I love him, and you guys should too. Okay, with that, we're going to go with another one of my regular contributors. He is a great friend. He's a fun follow, especially if you like wrestling. Give it up, Bees and Booze, for Clifton Ellison.
Well, hello, Suzette. How you doing?
Hey, Clifton, how are you?
I'm good, especially since you mentioned wrestling. Yesterday felt like a long title reign by the most biggest asshole in WWE just ended. And, we end with pyrotechnics and everything like that. It felt like a very big WrestleMania moment when they walked out there and they had the drones and the pyro and everything like that. It felt like we killed Ivan Ooze on the Power Rangers movie. It felt like Mojo Jojo got killed by the Powerpuff Girls. It felt good. Like shit. I think yesterday was the first time I drank and had an edible because I wanted to and not because I felt like I had to just to tolerate shit. I haven't been on for a couple weeks because I'll be honest, shit's been draining with this motherfucker in the house. And now he's on his way out. I know we still got 70 days though, but have you seen The Wiz, Suzette?
I have.
You remember on The Wiz when Eveline died and then they all just kind of like took off their ugly garments and they had those beautiful yellow gowns on and they were just twirling and everything like that. That's how it felt yesterday and today. I walked to Starbucks and I was walking my roommate's dog. He took a big old shit on the sidewalk and the lady almost stepped into it and it's just like, oh, my apologies. Like it was very Walt Disney. Like everybody was just so happy and just doing them, and it just was a nice relief from the perpetual state of like, what now? What is he saying now? Like I actually watched the news yesterday because I wanted to. Who am I? Like, I haven't felt that way probably since like 2013. 13 or 14 was probably the last time I felt that way. And then that's when the Empire tried to strike back and everything though. But you never win when you play dirty.
I was talking to Apple today, Apple Adams at Drag Brunch, just for viewers watching. And I mentioned like, I don't know who I am right now because my last 4 years that's when I started comedy, that's when I started performing as a drag princess. So what is this world now? Like it's hard not to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so we can't be getting too close, so we can't be sucking dick, even though, hell, shit, I wanted to yesterday, but,
Well,
what
I
can we do?
mean,
There's still Pornhub, we gotta be safe, but...
I actually, now that you mention it, just saying, I think sucking dick is okay. Because if I recall correctly, the New York Health Department, like the state health department, put out
glory holes.
Yes. So, dick can't breathe, right?
No.
So I think sucking dick's still on the table in the hole. It's available.
As long, I just please wash it.
Yeah, wash the dick and wear a mask.
Yeah.
Be a gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. But in the celebrity world, it's been a little dead though. But some of our favorite rappers have been shooking and jiving and cooning. Kanye's been cooning, and then Lil Pump, who I'm too old to listen to Lil Pump. I don't know who that is. He looks like a little musty boy on the light rail that I would see trying to sell his mixtape. I think the one that really kind of like got me right here was Ice Cube. Sis, bro, shut up. You got conned. He was not trying to make a deal with you. He was using you for political gain. And then Lil Wayne went on there. And that was the one that I was just like, is this real life right now? You really just grabbed like all the hit makers from the last 10 years. I wouldn't say all, Now, if Timbaland or Pharrell went up there, or Jay-Z, then I would really just want to just go to sleep for like 7 years. But
well, girl, I would want to go to sleep for 7 years if Timbaland did it too. He's gone.
Yeah, But
I'd be impressed. I'm not gonna say I would have voted for Trump, but if he got Timbaland up on stage, I would have said, "What is this?"
Yeah, and Lil Wayne went up there in this like oversized schoolboy outfit with these Stevie Wonder dreadlocks that had like 3 inches between the dread and his scalp. They just looked really bad, and they were bleached. And he looked like someone that would ask you for money in front of a gas station. But then somebody gave them a fresh pair of clean clothes. So the clothes were nice, but he just looked very like crackhead.
But he has the same. Yeah. His wife is pregnant in Stockton, and he needs bus fare, and he just lost his wallet and got mugged. And like you hear that story like 4 months apart, and you're like, your wife is still in labor 4 months later.
Yeah, 11 months pregnant, girl.
Good for her. Bad
and
for
then,
her.
Funny thing is, Kim Kardashian posted a picture of Joe and our new vice president, Madame Harris. And people were like, you didn't vote for your husband, girl? And I was just like, damn well she didn't vote for her husband.
No, now we know she's smart. She's like into prison reform. We all respect her, and we're like, oh, Kim, you can do better than Kanye.
I give it, because now that we got this new president, I have a feeling it's going to take some time. That's the one thing now that we got over this hump, it's going to take some time to get the changes rolling. We still got 70 days before it gets in there. And then, of course, with COVID, we got to get the scientists. We got to get everything rolling with that. So it's going to take some time for things to get somewhat back to normal. But I'm calling now. I put a $5 footlong and a Starbucks gift card on it that she going to leave his ass.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who's going to get left first, Kanye or Trump?
Well, the thing about it is Donald Trump has a lot more things to lose, and he has a lot of legal things, whereas Kanye just has the music and the raggedy shoes and the raggedy clothes.
Yeah, so raggedy.
I think Kim will leave Kanye before Melania leaves Trump.
I don't know if she's gonna make it 70 days.
You don't think she is?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't bet on it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she is not. I don't think he's gonna make it 70 days, to be honest. But
he can. Well, let me not say too much though, because the Feds is listening. But he can, he can go on before he gets spit on for all I care. But
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm not. I got no problems with that. But what I think will happen is, I think he's going to. I think he's gonna go ape shit with power as a lame duck president, and I think people are gonna say, "Oh no, honey," whoever calls him honey. You were clearly outside of your mind, and it's like he can do what he wants as president with executive orders, unless he's not right in the head, and then doctors will make that call.
Yeah, I just don't know. And then, Melania, I felt sorry for her, but then when that audio came out, I was like, bitch, you just like him. Go on back to Moscow, girl. We don't want you here either.
Oh, the Christmas audio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Madame Harris, you weren't at brunch today, but
I know. I was home listening to Luther Vandross and cleaning.
no, we all got to do what we can. But I will say you should check out the Facebook later, and check Taryn's number.
Okay.
Because she serves some Madame Harris.
Did she do WAP dressed as Madame Harris?
She did. Oh no, she didn't do WAP. I'm sorry. Did you say did she do WAP? No, not at all. I thought you said did she dress as Madame Harris? No, she did Roar by Katy Perry.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what, girl?
Oh no. With Dignity, we do Madame Harris.
Yeah, but like I could see like Boss Ass Bitch or like what's that old song from the '90s? I'm a bitch, I'm a lover.
Oh, Meredith Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see. I'm sprinkling some ideas in your ear, girl. But I'm trying to be coy with it. But
in me,
she had an edible. Yes, girl. But she had an edible, so my mouth was just running right.
Well,
now,
I don't think I could do Madame Harris, but.
Well, you could do Bernie's wife. I'm not Bernie, girl. I'm
Jill Biden. You know what?
Thank you.
You know, it's Dr. Jill Biden. Women are in power. I do.
Yeah.
You had an edible. You know what? Who cares? It's not Trump.
Exactly.
But no, I had to check myself because I saw pictures of Lady Gaga and I'm saying it like Trump did, Lady Gaga and Biden in Pennsylvania, and I was like, because she had the mask, so I didn't know it was her.
So you thought that was?
I thought it was Dr. Jill Biden, and I was like, she looks young in like the eyes and forehead. But what made me really go like Dr. Jill was her shoes. Gaga was wearing like some Suzette stilettos, like like some 6-7 inch, heels.
Some shit that I would bust my head open if I try to wear them. I don't know how you do it.
And so I clocked the shoes first. I was like, oh, Dr. Jill's wearing my shoes? And I was like, what? Maybe she wants to be like, there's no reason for her to wear those. Maybe she wants to be taller in the picture. And then I realized it was Gaga. And I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I'm as blonde as my hair.
Since she has been around a lot for his campaign, I really, 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 really hope that she sings at his inauguration.
Oh, I bet she would.
I feel it in my bones. I'm putting it into universe that she would do a sickening number at the inauguration, and they'll have their first dance, and there'll be some pyro and those drones that say their names in the sky and everything. And last night when they played Whitney Houston Higher Love at the end of the speech, I was crying like a girl. I was boo-hoo-hoo and crying. And remember last week I told you I was like I don't want to come on here for like a week or so because I'm just so fatigued with everything. But then when they finally announced it yesterday, it was like somebody just stuck a 12-inch needle of serotonin in my brain and just was like, here, girl.
How did you find out?
Better. I slept in a little bit yesterday. Sleeping in for me is like waking up at 8:30. And I had 47 text messages. And then my mom called me and she was like, did you look at the news? And I was like, what now? Who died now? What did he say now? She's like, no, it's good news. And I was like, I put my glasses on and I pulled up the phone and I was just like, then she's like, what did you say? And I was like, no, I didn't call you bitch. See, moms will always be moms. You can't say bitch without making sure that they know it's not to them, because she was about ready to reach with that phone and choke me. But I was just like, and I screamed so loud. I woke up my roommate, woke up his dog, and it was just like, I was like, I'm going to Bevmo. I'm buying a big old bottle. I'm going to the dispensary. I'm buying some gummies. And we are just going to have the best 1-2 man celebration that we can have. And it was just phenomenal. And I just hope this momentum carries us to some better positive changes. And I hope everybody takes this good energy and we all just kind of treat each other and ourselves a little better. So I feel like we all deserve a damn break. I feel like we all have felt like women that have to wear bras for 12 hours. And, they take the bra off and they just exhale and it's like, like, I feel like we all just exhaled this weekend.
I do wear a bra for 12 hours every Sunday.
And when you take it off, don't you exhale?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Exactly.
And but here's the important thing. That bra, after being on me for 12 hours, and it is a I told some people this today after brunch. Like, it is a proper fitting bra, so it hurts. And because, like, when you have a comfortable bra, that is not the correct size. And you're like, oh, it feels good. That is the wrong size. You need to go down, like, 2 band sizes and up a cup size. Like, it needs to hurt for it to be effective and right. And when it leaves my point was, it leaves a mark. And the mark goes away eventually, but it's important to, like, see the mark and be like, the mark is there because the bra was there. It will go away in time. I'm trying to say something deep. I don't know if it's making sense.
Oh, okay. So Donald Trump is the mark from the bras though that once you get rid of him.
I don't think he's the mark. What I'm more worried about is his followers. I think they're the mark.
Yeah.
They're the red the rednecks, red political, but they're the red marks. Like, they're the irritated red. Like, So here's another fun tidbit for you. So I found out it was like, I don't know, it must have been like right away. I just happened to check election results. I was up really early yesterday and on the phone with a comedian friend of mine, and I was like, oh, hey, it's over. And he was like, really? And I was like, yep. And so he hung up, and I started writing the monologue for the show instead of going back to bed, which I should do on Saturday mornings. And then Friday, I had been talking to Taryn about brunch, and we were like, no one should do anything political. We shouldn't do political numbers, because it was Friday. And I met her yesterday about noon, 11:30, to work on brunch stuff. And we were both like, let's do political stuff. Let's do political numbers. We should do political numbers tomorrow. And so that's when she decided to do Kamala. And we didn't know, because we were like, we'll let the other girls do what they want to do. We're not going to make this a hard theme or anything. Apple sent her music, and I immediately knew it was political because her song was 2004's JoJo's Get Out, Leave, Right Now. She did it dressed as the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing. So
that would have been super cute to see. I'm about to come back there. Y'all be selling out so goddamn fast. A bitch can't get a table, but that's a good thing, though.
Get some tickets. Next week we have May Half a Man. So, it'll be a good show.
We'll be there.
But the video of Apple doing Statue of Liberty, Get Out, Leave is online. And Taryn's Kamala doing Roar is online.
Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
You should.
I'm trying to think, was there anything else outside of politics that really stuck out this week in the tea realm? You remember that show, Bad Girls Club?
Yes.
So, there's this one girl on there. She's very infamous. She lives in Roseville now, but she used to always say, "I run LA." She has a chin that rivals Jay Leno. Remember those old Happy Meal toys with the moon?
The
Yeah.
Mac
Her
tonight.
chin gets very that. So, anyways, imagine a bunch of 35, mid to late 30-year-old girls that don't know when to hang it up
Mm.
and are still acting ratchet like they're 22, 23, because they're having a reunion now. And they rented a house and they're filming it on their OnlyFans. And these are like late 30-year-olds fighting over shit that happened on TV 10 years ago. And I'm just like, one side of my brain is just like, are y'all really that money hungry? And then the other side of my brain is like, oh, girl, this is messy. I want to check it out.
Okay, so I just looked it up because I only kind of know about the show.
It's a shit show. It was on TV for 17 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and it was produced by the same people that did The Real World. There is no prize. There was no goal. You just go in there, and there'll be 7 girls in the house, and they'll be like, "I'm the baddest bitch in the house. I run this, da 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 da," and it would just be like build up and build up and build up to a fight. And for the first like 8 years, if you got into a fight, you go home, and they're replaced with a new girl. And then eventually they realize that people just like to fight and they just keep the girls on until they decide to leave. But it was like the epitome of just really trash garbage television. And if you ever want to feel better about yourself or have a good laugh, put that show on, because you'll be like, damn, these girls are really out here going on national TV to have bragging rights because they beat bitches down and get blackout drunk on national television.
So on Wikipedia, it's weird, first of all, because it's like season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 15. Like, there's no information about 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14.
I would say the girls that matter the most were on like season, because Tanisha Thomas is on season 2, and then she became like the godmother of the bad girls. And then Natalie was on season 4, and then like they had a couple of other girls that were kind of okay. And then the funny thing is they had an all-star season, kind of like how they have on Drag Race, so they brought the girls back. But besides of getting a crown, they just are more blackout drunk and more violent than first time around.
Right.
And it's a wonderful social experiment of seeing like, where does this queen bee attitude come from? And then later on into the show, the last 4 seasons, they actually had like a life coach that would come in there, and she would kind of like break them down a little bit. It was just like, okay, you act like that because your daddy didn't love you, or you act like that because you got picked on in school. And it's just so funny because it kind of is in the same realm of like the bars, in the bar scene of like, you see these people sometimes they go and they start mess and things like that, and they always have drama, and you're just like, why are you like that? And you're just like, oh, because you got picked on in high school, or other things like that. So it's just a shit show. But this girl, she actually lives in Roseville, the one I was talking about with the big chin, and she's been at
What's her name?
a bar out before too.
Her chin has been there.
Yeah,
What's her name?
her name is Natalie Nunn.
Okay.
Yeah, just Google her, and then when you have a chance, ask Taryn about the time that the Bad Girls Club came to Sidetracks in 2013.
Okay, I will.
It was definitely, it was one of those nights where the whole staff was just like, girl. Do you remember? I'm actually with my friend Danny right now. Danny, remember when Rocky came to Sidetracks from Bad Girls Club?
Maybe.
And she had a whole entourage. She got blackout drunk before the night ended.
Oh, and they carried her out.
Yeah, they carried her out.
But they kept it really cute.
Yeah, but it was a mess.
Well, I will say I'm here for. I'm still on Wikipedia reading about the Bad Girls Club. I'm here for the nicknames, like the Southside Slugger, the Ticking Bombshell, the Dolled Up Dynamite, the Queen of. Like, what I want to do is just read these names, and you just tell me which loco queen fits. Like, the Queen of Trash Talk,
Taryn,
the Uptown Princess,
you.
the Backwoods Barbie.
Wait, I feel like that's you, and I feel like the Uptown Princess would probably be, because Apple now she's bougie. She lives in Cameron Park, so that'll be Apple.
Then they had like dual nicknames in season 15. They had two Queens of Turkwell. Oh, here, this one's me, the Rock and Roll Barbie.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Season 15, that was the season where they had sisters.
Right.
And then the funny thing is, they had these sisters, and they were like kind of low key looking incestual. Kind of find out they weren't really sisters; they were girlfriends, and they were just trying to find a way to get on TV.
Oh, wait. Was that the Hepperleys?
Was that the what?
The Hepperleys?
That was on season 15. It was Olivia and Diamond.
Oh.
I'll send you the links when I get through with this. It's a mess. I'm actually rewatching it now because I have nothing else to do with my life.
Okay.
And that's when I found out that Natalie Lamb was doing this reboot and charging people $20 a month on OnlyFans to look at this. I thought OnlyFans was just for porn, but I guess you could do whatever on there.
That's kind of funny that people are doing not porn and everyone's like, hey, wait, what? You have to do porn on here. I think I just found the winner of the nicknames. Season 17, they had the seventh wonder of the hood. She wins.
That's Jamila.
Oh.
I love her.
I like
And
this
she
game.
is the seventh wonder of the hood.
I like this game a lot.
Because the thing about her, she will always give you the best show ever.
Mm-hmm.
But don't cross her. Don't cross her.
Okay.
And the thing about it is I'll go up for her too. If I hear anybody disrespecting her, it's on and popping for me too, because I love her. She is phenomenal. But she will also let you know what time it is. And that's a good quality. So yeah, I'll give that to her.
Okay. There are too many nicknames. We could play this game
Oh yeah,
for
the
hours.
nicknames are a lot, but
No, but I mean, I want to keep playing, but I don't know how compelling that is for the viewers. Well, yeah, no, thank you. Do you have anything else?
no, I don't really have anything else. The edible is hitting, and thank God for gummy edibles.
I mean, you don't need them anymore. That's the thing. But
I know. I just.
oh, you're just doing it for pleasure
I
now.
didn't even start them until like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
But like, it's like a nice mellow me out. Like, it's not too much. It's not on the floor asleep. It's just enough,
Well, let me let you go so you can enjoy it, and you don't have to be here talking to me. But thank you for coming on. Also, I will make sure if you don't see the videos of Apple and Taryn, I'll make sure to send them to you.
Yeah, send them to me, please, because I want to see. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
All
I
right.
love you, Suzette. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Clifton. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Clifton Ellison. Send him some coin. He's here all the time, except for a couple times that he's not. But and then, as always, Stab Comedy Theater above my head. And right now, for $20, like we said at the start of the show, I know I sound like an infomercial, but it's really soft and it supports local artists and the theater that houses them. So, why wouldn't you do that? Okay, with that, we're going to get to our last contributor of the show. He is sometimes a comic, sometimes an actor, voice actor, producer. I don't know what he does. David Shapiro. Hey, David.
Yeah.
Hi.
Weird week,
Yeah.
right?
Totally. You
Well,
want to talk about stuff?
I was going to talk about. No,
What?
I was not going to talk about managers who
Yeah,
look like
grandmother
grandmothers.
managers.
Though I am wearing my shirt because you know what I realized. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to soliloquy, so you can just sit there and not talk over me for once. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't have any patriotic clothing, which is weird, because I am an American, and I'm proud to be an American. But I don't have anything that says like American or like United States or with, our country's colors. I have a hoodie from Italy with the Italian flag on it. I have lots of hoodies with other stuff, but I don't have anything showing how proud I am to actually be from this country. And it's so weird, and so I wanted to wear something, that was like red, white, and blue, and this was like the 1985 version of the White Sox logo, the Batterman logo. It's weird because I'm a Democrat, right? And while I'm proud of my country, I'm not jingoistic. And I'm not xenophobic. And so often in this country, people that wear the flag, not everybody, but a lot of the times it's worn in a xenophobic way. As though I'm wearing the United States colors because I hate everyone else. Or in a jingoistic way, the United States is better than everywhere else and everywhere else sucks. I don't think either of those things. And so I hesitate to ever buy things that say I'm an American or with the flag on it because it's worn by people that hate often. Not always. Every 2 years we have the Olympics and we get really proud and we wear our colors. But so often it's worn by people that hate everyone. And so I know myself, and I can't speak for all Democrats, but I know myself, I hesitate to buy anything with the flag on it because I don't want to be associated with those people. And that sucks. I'm sorry, it's been a big week.
Oh, you okay?
It's like so it's like a sports team, right?
Go on.
What if like every 4 years we traded teams? That'd be weird. If every 4 years you had to stop liking your team. That's just what Cowboys and Lakers and Yankees fans do. But not me, not where I'm from. I'm a White Sox fan. And we're always White Sox fans. So, what if everyone could just be proud of the country? Or like, is it gonna switch now? I don't know. I'm sorry. It's a weird night. It's with a lot of weird emotions. How are you?
Tired. Very tired. Thank you for asking, though.
Good. Okay, well, anyhow, I figure I can wear my colors at least for my country, and wear them with my team's logo. It's kind of a weird marriage there. Also, my team is managed by a grandmotherly-looking gentleman.
Yes.
So
he is.
All
Yes.
right. I'm tired.
You
I'm gonna
look
go
it.
to sleep,
Okay.
like right after I hang up with you.
Oh.
So that's all I got. Suze, you have a good week. I'll be back next week. We can talk about. Oh, you know what I want to talk about?
What?
Anti-Semitism in the White House. Let's
Oh.
talk about that. I learned a little bit about that this week. I don't have time for it right now. I'm tired. You gotta go. We'll talk about that and grandmotherly-looking managers of baseball teams.
Okay.
I feel like we got time now. I feel like we all have more time. So, get some sleep and bye.
Okay, bye. Guess I know who he voted for. I also am repping my team, but it's because Pennsylvania came through, and our colors aren't red, white, and blue, but that's okay. But maybe I'll try to get something too. That's the show, guys. That was the show this week. No guest, light show. We will be back next week, return to format with a guest. Thank you for tuning in. And you guys have something else tonight, right? Oh,
yeah. After this, it'll be the second annual Campfire benefit comedy show, hosted by Jessica Roberts. Big lineup of comics, and you can donate to the Campfire Christmas Fund.
Okay.
To help out some of the people that are still recovering.
Cool. Well, stay tuned to Stab Comedy TV, twitch.tv/Stab Comedy, or wherever you're watching it for that show, and you can donate to Christmas Fund, which is always a cool thing. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for voting.